So next is time invariance. Linear we saw, time invariance. Any doubt on linearity?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now time invariance. But do you feel these are all the basics you know or you don't know actually? You want to cover or how do you feel actually?
So covers it is just a brush up
Cover.
kind.
Okay. So you'll be using these concepts later actually.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
But do you know that if 2 times the input plus 5 is non-linear? Did you know that earlier?
Which one, sir?
Huh? What?
Huh?
So those problems and all we had solved, sir. Okay.
Hmm.
Those which
Okay.
all we will watch
Earlier.
lectures
Huh?
and all.
Hmm.
Properties and all this and basics and all we have done. So it's
Okay.
just like a refreshing, so that is not a problem. Can explain.
Okay. This won't take much classes. Maximum 2 or 3 maximum, not more than that. Please stop this
Okay,
in
sir.
project mode actually.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
So time invariance means if input is x of t, output is y of t, input is delayed by t naught. T naught could be 1 millisecond, 2 millisecond, or whatever it may be. Delayed. Output also will be delayed. Actually, y of t minus t naught. Okay.
Hmm.
This is not applicable for all the system. This is applicable if and only if the system is time invariance actually. If it is not time invariance, then it is not applicable. Okay. So there are some systems which are time variant systems actually. You should not confuse linearity and time invariance. They are two different properties actually. But if both linearity and time invariance both are there, then it is an advantage actually. We can use something called convolution. I'll talk about this later. So x of t minus t is delayed by t naught. Output is also delayed by t naught actually. For example, system is multiplication block is multiplied with the input by 3. So output is 3xt. If it is input is delayed by t naught, x of t minus t naught, output is y1t. x1 of t is x of t minus t naught. Output is y1t, which is nothing but 3 of x times t minus t naught actually. Right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So output is also delayed actually. Input is delayed, output also delayed by the same amount actually. Okay. This property is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
I give an example where this is not applicable actually. I will give an example of a time variant system actually. Here, x of t is multiplied by time variable itself. T is a time variable actually, right?
Hmm.
Time variable. So output y of t is nothing but t times x of t actually. Okay, t times x of t. If input is delayed by t naught, x of t minus t naught, what will be the output actually? Y1 of t, x1 of t is x of t minus t naught. Output is t times x1 of t.
T
Nothing
times
but
X.
t times x of t minus t naught.
X of T
But
minus
what is
T.
y of t minus t naught actually? Y of t minus t naught is
T.
t minus t
T
naught
minus
into x
T.
of
T
t minus t naught,
Into
into
x
X
of
of
t
T
minus
minus.
t.
right?
Yes.
Hmm.
So both are not equal actually, right?
Not equal. Hmm.
Yes.
They are not equal because
Hmm.
you put gain as time variable t, then it is a time variant system actually.
Time variant. Hmm.
Hmm.
Time variant. For example, you mix it, right? Down conversion or up conversion, some cos omega naught t will be multiplying actually. Cos omega naught t. It is a function of time actually, right? Input you will multiply by cos omega naught t. Cos omega naught t is a or cos omega ct if you are comfortable with that. Omega c is a R of carrier frequency. Is it time variant system or time invariant system?
Cos omega naught t.
Yeah, you are multiplying x of t by cos omega naught t. Instead of t here, you see that it is cos omega ct. Instead of t, I
Time
replace by cos
variant.
omega ct. Is it time variant or
Time
time invariant?
variant.
Huh?
Variant only.
Time? That up conversion or down conversion, we are multiplying by cos omega ct, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it time, output is time variant or time invariant actually? Is
Time
this
Time
variant.
variant.
what?
Time variant.
Yeah,
Variant.
because cos omega ct is a function of time actually, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes,
So,
sir.
what is the uh, what is the advantage of time invariant system actually compared to time variant system? What is the difference between the time variant and time? What you can do or what you cannot do in a time variant system actually?
It varies according to the time.
No, that's okay. That is a property. I'm just saying there are two blocks. Okay, in my system there are two blocks. This is block one. This is block two. Okay,
Yes.
this is the output y of t.
Yes.
Here, this is my input x of t. If it is time invariant system, I can interchange one and two actually. I can do this.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Two then followed by one. I can do this. Same output you will be getting if you give x of t.
Hmm.
You will be getting same y of t.
Same.
If it is time variant tv, you cannot do this. You cannot interchange one and two.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you cannot do that actually. This you must keep in mind actually.
Okay.
So this time variant and linear, these both you know right now. Okay.
Hmm.
So now we will talk about both the linearity and time invariant LTI system actually. Okay. Most of our design we will assume that system is linear time invariant actually. That makes our design simple actually. If it is non-linear also it is difficult. If it is time variant also it is very difficult actually. But if it is time invariant, then we have a lot of advantages actually. So output is suppose system the input is response is h of n is called impulse response. Let me see.
Yes.
What is missing? Yeah. So what is impulse response? First you will define it actually. So what is impulse actually? Digital impulse.
Only at
N is
So
equal
this
to
is
0
I know.
to N.
See, I have delta n. I have defined that figure first figure actually.
yes, sir.
Yes.
So delta n
Below
equal at n equal to 0, it is 1. Delta n equal to 1 at n equal to 0. Delta n equal to 0 when n is not equal to 0. So minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. Delta n will be 0 actually. Right?
0.
Hmm.
This is called unit impulse actually.
Yes.
Right? This is called unit impulse.
Unit impulse.
Now I am talking about digital domain actually. This is particularly digital domain. Analog domain is a little bit complicated. We will not bother about it actually. So if I give this impulse to a system, okay, assume that the system is linear and time invariant. Okay, time invariant, that is most important actually. I get an output actually. Okay, so I give an input. Output need not have only one impulse. it can have one impulse or many impulses actually. For example, here in the h of n, n equal to 0, there is an impulse. And at n equal to 1, there is a delayed impulse. N equal to 2 also there is a delayed impulse. N equal to 3 also there is a delayed impulse. Right? There are 4 impulses actually. Okay. For you input one impulse, you get 4 impulses actually. Response has 4 impulses actually. Right? So
Yes.
this is a response, right? H of n is the response of the system to an input.
Hmm.
It's impulse actually. What is this system called? Any idea?
And
Huh?
finite. In
Finite impulse response, right?
yeah.
Because number of samples in the H of n is finite. Here it is only 4, 0, 1, 2, 3 samples only. It is non-zero. All 4, 5, etc., minus 1, minus 2, etc. It is 0 actually, right?
Hmm.
A system need not be like this. It can slowly die down, but it will never be 0. H of n need not be 0. It can go to till infinity. It can have some smaller and smaller values, non-zero values actually. That is called infinite impulse response actually, right?
Hmm.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we will talk about LTI system. Now H of n is my impulse response. It has L length actually. X of n is my input actually, right? If the system is linear and time invariant, I can use some property called convolution actually, convolution sum. What is convolution? Y of n is given by convolution of x of n and h of n. H of n is the impulse response of the system actually. X of n is you convolve actually, right?
Yes.
So you see, and this is commutative actually. So y of n is also equal to sigma k is equal. 1 minute. Yeah. So you can use h of n first and x of n later actually, right? Sigma h of k, sorry, h of n minus k, x of k you can do actually. You can interchange
Yes.
actually. It's commutative
Hmm.
actually, right? That is because it is time invariance actually.
Time
If it is not
invariant.
time invariant, I thought the blocks you cannot interchange actually. Because time invariant, you can use this property actually. Okay. So what does this say about that actually? You want to find the response of the system. The impulse response is h of n. How will you find out actually? Using this formula, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But what does it mean actually? I will explain it in detail actually. I think that PDF document, some pages are missing actually. I don't know. I just converted the PDF and some pages are missing. I don't know why actually. This is the original document I wrote actually. Anyway, I'll use this for teaching actually today. I'll see what is the problem actually.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Suppose I have a filter. I want to filter some signal actually. My x of n is a signal. I want to filter it. This is my filter. I give you a filter. Some FIR filter. I want to find the output y of n. Okay. So this is impulse response h of n. Suppose this is a impulse response. This is n equals 0, 1. It may not be always plus. It can be plus and minus actually. And it can be complex also. But simplicity I'm taking real actually. 0, 1, first sample, second sample. So I told you, you can use this formula also. Sigma h of n minus
Of
k,
n minus.
x of k. So what is this is h of n? n is a dummy variable actually. You can put h of k also, right? Same as h of k, right? Instead of n, you use k, anything. What is h of minus k actually? How will it look h of minus k?
That mirror
Mirror
image.
image.
Flip it. This is 0. It will not, because 0 minus 0 is same. 1 will become minus 1.
-1.
Minus 1. 2 will become minus 2. Like this. 0, minus 1, minus 2. This is h of minus k. Right? So h of n minus k means what? This you shift right by n equal to 0
K.
to 10. 1 means shift it right. N equal to 1 means what? How it will look? This will look like this. See. One, 0, minus 1, right? It is, you shift right by 1, right?
Hmm.
So x of k is my signal actually. Some signal. 0 it is like this, 1, 2 it is like this, 3 it is like this, some signal. It is long, very long, some 1000 samples length. You have to filter this signal actually. So you feed this x of k, keep it this is x of n, x of k or k is a w variable. H of n is flip it, then you multiply actually, right? So this one will be here actually. This and this will coincide for n equals 0. Only one sample will be there. You multiply this term and by this term, you get y of 0. N equal to 1, what will happen? This will be, this whole thing is shifted right actually. You are shifted and two samples will be there actually, right? N equals 0 and n equal to 1.
N is equal to 1.
So x of k, two samples will be there actually. Then n equal to 1, y of 2, three samples will be there actually. After that, n equal to 4 means 4, 3, 2 will be there. Samples will be multiplying each term by term, sum it actually. Right? We'll be getting an output actually.
Yes.
So this is nothing but convolution actually. I told you a formula. I'm just giving a graphical interpretation of that. You flip it, any one second you can see flip x of k also. Right? But why do we flip h of n minus k actually? Do you know why we are not flipping x of k actually? I told you either flipping is anything is fine actually. But why do we do this way actually? Any idea?
That length is less for impulse.
Yeah, the filter length will be maximum from 50 or 100 actually. Whereas x of k will have a large length, some 10,000 or 50,000, very large length. So we cannot, I mean, it is easy to do this actually. You keep this h of k flipped and slide actually. That h of k you slide in there as the new one, as and when new x of k comes, you multiply three samples and add one output you are getting actually. You slide a h of k in the signal direction actually. Right? This is going, this h of k is going in this direction. Signal is constant like this, but h of k is moving and it is aligning with the different input samples actually. Three samples of the input will align and there is an output actually. Are you able to visualize this?
Yes.
Huh?
Nice.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You move this h of k, you slide it in there. H of k is the signal. New samples are coming. Here one sample, here one sample. Sorry, here one sample, here one sample coming. Now three samples are aligning. Then this h of h. Then another three samples you will slide the h of h function actually. And each three samples, whichever is falling in this, you multiply and add. That will give output y of x. Right? This is how you have to do the convolution actually. So you can implement a filter using convolution actually. So Shreya is going to write this FIR filter actually. She is going to write a MATLAB program actually. We'll be using this actually. That's the problem is there actually. I don't know why. Sometimes Whether it is coming all or it's missing some pages actually. Should.
So I think on the 18 pages you have forwarded.
I PDF only I found actually. The data file is missing actually here. That's why I'm wondering actually whether.
So that 18 pages you told me. In this PDF it is showing 18 pages.
Uh-huh.
Means in
18 pages.
whatever you have sent, that is also 18 pages.
Okay, so why this is missing them actually? That impulse of what?
Maybe exchanged with some page. Maybe it is next page or something, sir, in that PDF.
No, it's not there actually.
It's not there.
The impulse function, it's not there, right? It's missing actually.
No. Here it is there.
Oh, it has gone to some other different place actually. Should do the same way, no? Why is this? Okay, anyway. So this convolution is pretty clear, right? So convolution is possible if the system is linear and time invariant actually. Right?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
And there is something called correlation actually. Correlation. It is similar to convolution, but it is nothing but flipped convolution. If the input is x of k, you flip it. I saw how I showed you how to flip it actually, right? You
Yes,
just
sir.
flip it. You instead of k, you put minus k. The signal is going right side. The flip one will go left side actually. So it is nothing but x of n plus k and x of k. This is called autocorrelation actually. Okay. Some of these will be using actually. So why it is called autocorrelation? Instead of filter, we have x of n and h of n.
Same X.
You are
Same
using the same signal actually. So one of them is flipped, another one is used directly actually. Okay. This is called autocorrelation. So first term is x of n plus k. You flip x of k, then shift by n samples actually. You do convolution, then it will become autocorrelation actually. Right? Cross correlation is like a filter actually. X of n and y of n. You flip x of n and convolve with y of n. That is a cross correlation actually. Okay. So this correlation has some interesting properties. We will discuss it briefly actually. This convolution you are clear, right? Convolution and correlation. What is the relation actually? Right? See, instead of n minus k, here n plus k is there. So you flip that first one and do a convolution, it will become, because n plus k means n minus k actually.
Yes.
Right? So n minus first minus is convolution, then second one is flipping actually. So if you flip it and do a convolution, it is correlation actually. Is it clear or? Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
clear.
Cross correlation and all. Okay. Then we talk about stability actually, right?
Yes.
So this is called a BIBO, bounded input and bounded output actually. So it is a must. So every input, see I left every, so I have 10 on the top. Every input, bounded input must produce a bounded output actually. Even one bounded input does not produce a bounded output, then it is unstable actually. See, for example, x of n is bounded. That means mod of x of n is less than or equal to p actually. Okay. Uh, y equal to x square. Input you give, square it actually. That is output actually. Is it a bounded system? Is it a stable system? Stability, I told you, every bounded input must be,
Bounded out.
Bounded.
yeah. Is it stable or not?
Stable.
Stable.
Stable, but it is non-linear, but it is stable actually, right?
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
I will give an example of what is unstable actually, but square array is a stable system because if the input is bounded, it is less than some value, output is also bounded actually. It is non-linear but stable. Output also bounded. See, input is less than or equal to mod of x of n. See, it can be either positive or negative. I took mod. Y of n output also less than or equal to some value q.
Value.
You have to tell the value. Output should never exceed q actually. If I prove that output can exceed q when x of n is less than or equal to p, then it is unstable actually. Right?
Mm. Mm.
For example, accumulator. Accumulator means you sum all the input. See, y of n is nothing but sigma x of k. K equal to 0 to whatever time, n naught or n. Up to the time n, you sum the input actually. Right?
Yes.
We will explore whether it is a stable system or an unstable system actually. Right? Suppose we give an impulse actually. X of k is an impulse. Will output will be bounded? X of k is impulse. That means k equal to 0, it is 1. All other k is 0 actually. So you are saying sigma x of k equal to 0, k equal to 1, etc. So you give input is impulse, what will be the output actually? At n equal to say 100, what will be the output? What is y of 100 actually?
It is stable system.
No,
Summation
what
of
is y
the
of 100 actually? If input is x of n, k is delta function, what is y of 100?
Minus 100 also. Only one I.
Yeah, only one. X k equal to 0, it is 1. All other k is 0. So 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus, it is 1 actually, right? It looks it is bounded, but not. What I told, every bounded input, that is more important, not one input. Any input is give, if it is bounded, output must be bounded. I give a counter example where this x of k is a unit step. See, we saw, I didn't define formally unit step. See, this is unit step function. K equal to 0, it is 1. K equal to 1, it is 1. 2 equal to 1. Up to infinity, it is 1. Whereas minus 1, minus 2 and all, it is 0 actually. Just a minute. Some phone calls. Just a minute. I'll attend call and come back. Hello. Yeah. Shall we proceed?
yes. Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Call. Yeah. Sorry. I'll share the screen. Actually. Just a minute, something. Mhm. Yeah. So this is unit step, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Ah,
sir.
yes, sir.
Yeah, it is unit step. I am applying this to accumulator actually.
Hmm.
What will be the output? Can you tell whether it is bounded actually? How will you prove that it is unbounded actually? It is obviously not stable, unstable, and output is unbounded. Whereas input is bounded actually, because input is always less than or equal to one. The input is never exceeds one, right?
Yes,
Input
sir.
part of x of
Yes.
n is it's less than or equal to one always. Okay,
Yes,
it's
sir.
never exceeds
Mm.
one actually. How do you say that this output is bounded, unbounded? You give any value. For example, output y of n is 100. Maximum value you say that 100. 100 it should not exceed. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
So, but at n equal to 100, y of 100 is what? You will get 101, right? Because y of 0, y of 1, y of 2, etc. Which is nothing but 1 plus 1,
Yes,
like that. So, every
Yeah.
time one is added actually, so you will get 101 actually, right? And n equal to 100, y of 100 is 101 actually. Is it clear?
yes,
Plus you add 1 plus 1, 0. For 0 it is 1. Again for 1 it is 1. Some 100 times. So 101. It is exceeding 100 actually. So you cannot say 100 is the uppermost value. Whatever value, even if you say 1000, at any one 1000, it will become 1001 actually. So it is unstable actually. You cannot say that it can't exceed beyond that value. Whereas input is bounded actually. So this accumulator is an unstable system actually.
Unstable. Mm.
so it means that unit step function it can be bounded or unbounded depending upon the
No, unit step
boundary
function is
conditions.
bounded, definitely. Unit step function is bounded, definitely. But the response to unit step is unbounded actually. For accumulator, if the system is an accumulator, then it is unstable actually. The response to the unit step is it is not
Okay,
bounded, right?
unit step function is the bounded, but response to the unit step is unbounded.
Yeah, always the response must be bounded. If for the
Okay.
conditioning input also must be bounded. See, you cannot take unbounded input and say whether it is stable or unstable actually. If the
Okay.
conditioning is that,
Mm.
if the input is bounded, then output also must be bounded actually. In our case, unit step is bounded. It is bounded by one.
Mm.
And output is not bounded actually.
Okay.
So this is in an unstable system actually.
Unstable. Mm.
So we have seen time invariant, linear time invariants, etc. Convolution we have seen. How to implement a filter we have seen, right? How to implement a filter actually. We flip the impulse response and slide the impulse response along the signal actually, right? That is how we will implement it actually. So linear time invariant system we have seen actually. Then something like called causality actually, causal actually, right? Do you
Yes.
know what is a causal signal actually? Why it is important actually? Anybody can tell?
So
For example, in this figure, there is an input actually up to n naught time n equal to n naught. X1 of n equal to x2 of n. Both are same actually, right? One single line is coming actually, right? Then after n naught, there is a branch x1 n and x2 of n. They are different actually, right? Okay. Now, if you give this any one of the signal to a causal system, then when as long as n is less than or equal to n naught, y1 of n will be equal to y2 of n actually. Okay. The system does not know after n naught they are going to differ. It does not know. Till n naught, at any time, say n naught minus 10. At n naught minus 10, whatever input from minus infinity to n naught minus 10, the signal is there. Output will depend on that. Not n naught minus 10, sorry, n naught minus 10. Next is what actually? You have to add 1 actually. N naught plus 1 minus 10. That is n naught minus 9. Whatever is there, then output will at n naught minus 10, from minus infinity to n naught minus 10, the signal, whatever signal is there, it will depends on that only. It will not depend on the future actually. Here, up to n naught, both are same. So, anytime if you want this output till n naught, x1 of n will be equal to x2 of n. This system does not know after n naught, it is going to differ actually. Okay. So, for example, I will give see in real life, everything is causal actually. Nothing is non-causal or anti-causal actually. For example, I eat some bad food, bad food today. Tomorrow I may fall sick actually, right? So tomorrow my health condition depends on till tomorrow, previous days actually, right? The day before yesterday, whatever food I take will affect my health tomorrow actually. But suppose tomorrow I am going to take a bad food, will it affect my health today?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Who said yes? Tomorrow I am going to take my bad food, but will it affect my health today?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Because system is causal actually, right?
Yes.
The system is causal. Whereas it will, the response depends on the past also. For example, today I have a bad food, it may affect me, it did not affect me immediately, it may affect me after 1 day. Tomorrow I may fall sick actually. So output depends on the present and past, not future actually. So here up to n naught, the signals are same. After that they differ. So till n naught, the response will be same for x1 of n and x2 of n. That is y1 of n equal to y2 of n and n less than or equal to n. But when n naught is exceeded, clearly they are different actually. Okay? If it is non-causal system, which is only theoretical interest, practically everything is causal. If it is non-causal, after n naught they are differing. So for at n naught minus 10, if we find the output y of n naught minus 10, that means y1 of n naught minus 10 will not be equal to y2 of n naught minus 10. If it is non-causal system actually. I cannot give any example for this because this is not physically realizable actually. Right? It is not physically realizable actually. Okay, I will give an example. How do you realize? Suppose some system is there which is non-causal. How do you realize that it's a causal actually? I have a non-causal actually. I have not explained certain things actually. Just I'll give a brief I have a low pass filter actually. You know what is a low pass filter?
Yes.
Yes.
What is that actually? What is the, okay, I not defined formally, but I'll talk about later, but I'll give an example of how you implement a causal from a non-causal system. Suppose this is a ideal low pass filter. It is some minus plus omega or omega naught, this is minus omega naught. So if I give cos omega 2 omega naught t to input, what will be y of t? The ideal low pass filter. Here all 0 actually. This is minus 2 omega naught t, and sorry, minus 2 omega naught, this is plus 2 omega naught. If I give cos 2 omega naught t as the input to this filter, what will be the output actually? This is 1.
One.
This is my, this is a frequency domain actually. H of j omega. This is omega axis, frequency actually. Sorry, I have not done, but because you have studied it, you can try to recollect actually how a filter works actually. Can anybody tell if I give cos 2 omega naught t, what will be the output actually? It is an ideal low pass filter actually, right?
So it
Sir,
not pass that signal.
excuse me. What will be the output actually? See, after omega naught it is 0, right? The transfer function
Yes.
is 0, right?
It will
So
not
output
pass that signal like this.
y of
It will-
j omega is h of j omega into x of j omega, right? X
Yes.
is input actually,
Yes.
right? If this is 0 multiplied by whatever is the frequency, suppose omega naught is 2 pi into 1 kilohertz. Into 1000. 2 omega naught is 2 pi into 2000 hertz. Right? So what will be the output for this actually?
So it will not
0,
pass
right?
that signal. Pass.
Huh? What?
It will not pass that cos to omega t, no, sir, because the filter we are setting to minus omega to plus omega, but the
Yeah.
signal we have is 2 omega naught t. So it will not
Yeah.
pass that frequency.
So it will attenuate. There will be no output actually.
Yes.
Right?
Mm.
Suppose you give a signal cos omega naught t plus cos 2 omega naught t, cos omega naught t will come as such that cos omega naught 2 omega naught t will be thrown out actually. Right?
Yes.
So where can you use this actually? This filter actually. Can you give an example where you can use this filter actually? This type of low pass filter.
To cut the higher frequencies.
Yeah, it is low pass filter, so you cut the high frequency. If it is high pass filter, it will cut the low frequency. See,
Low
if
frequency.
it is band pass between two limits, it will allow.
Yes.
Beyond these
Yes.
limits, it will attenuate.
Yes.
So it depends on the filter. Okay. So what is the these frequencies of h of j omega? What is the impulse response h of t in continuous domain for this?
Sync-
If it is
sync
rectangle,
function.
huh?
Sync
Function,
function.
right?
Yes.
Sync function.
Yes.
It will be like this. I'm not good at drawing actually, sorry. It is going infinity, minus infinity, this is going plus infinity, right? Can you implement this filter actually? Can you implement this filter? Ideal low pass filter, can you implement?
No, sir.
No, sir, because
Why?
the bandwidth is like
Will
minus infinity
not.
plus infinity.
No, this is time actually. This is time, not frequency. This is time. Frequency is omega naught, which is finite, no problem. Say 1000 hertz. It is not infinite. Bandwidth is not infinite. This is time axis. There are two reasons why you cannot implement. What is that actually? Is it causal?
We will not get
This is
a
the
sharp edge.
this is t equal to 0. This point, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the requirement I told, I forgot to told, if it is causal system, impulse response will not be this n equal to 0. N equal to -1 and all, it should be 0 actually.
Yes.
H of n should be 0 actually.
Yes.
-1, -2, etc. should be 0. N equal to 0 or greater only, impulse response must be there actually. You think why it is so actually, why it is required actually. If it is any h of n not equal to 0 at n equal to -1, -2, etc., then it cannot be causal. Think why it is not so actually, right? From the definition of causality, you think why it is X plus
The
any one of you
causality
can.
is
Huh?
Causality means it depends on past inputs and the present one.
Oh, yeah. So h of n is at n equal to -1, it is not 0. Then what will happen actually? So what is the convolution? H of, I told another formula, right? H of n minus k, x of k. So you give 1 minute, x of k. Then you go to say, for example, 0 you will give h of minus k, x of k, right? That is y of 0. Suppose h of -1, k equal to -1, it is non-zero. That means minus k, h of 1 into x of 1 actually. Then it's okay. What about k is positive actually, negative. K is negative. H of
N plus.
minus plus h of 1, x of -1, right? So at n equal to 0, k equal to -1, h of 1 into x of -1 actually, right? So y0 depends on x of -0. Y0 should depend on 1 minute. Yeah, n equal to 0 you give, k equal to 1 you give. So h of -1, I'll write here, h of -1 into x of 1 actually, right? So y of 0 depends on x of 1, future input actually. When is future, right? X of 0, then comes x of 1. The future input affects the present output actually, right? This is obviously non-causal, right?
yes.
Yes, sir.
That's why the impulse response cannot be n less than or equal to 0. Sorry, not equal, less than 0. It cannot have a non-zero value actually, right? So filter, this is going, impulse response is going n less than 0 actually. Is it causal? Is it causal?
Which ones?
This h of t I wrote, it is a continuous domain. To slice it, each n equal to 0, 1 and all, it is discrete domain actually. Okay, it is just like slicing it. Here it is slices. Right? It is discrete domain. By the way, that shape is same. So it is non-causal, I say. Because n less than 0 also it is non-zero actually. Right? You cannot realize this actually. Can you realize this? You cannot realize this, right? Is it understood? Are you understanding this? Because it is non-causal, right?
Yes, sir.
It is not. See, a practical system must be causal actually. See, output will, if you realize this, output will depend on the future input, which is not possible actually. Output cannot depend on the future input. Output can depend on present and past input, not future. So it is not realizable, right? Is it clear? I proved it. Now, if you give this, now h of minus 1 is not 0, then output will depend on y is 0 will depend on x of 1, which is not possible. Practically, it is not possible, right? So, because systems are causal, all physically realizable practical systems are causal. So, this is non-causal.
Okay, sir.
So, then another thing, this impulse response goes to smaller and smaller, but it goes to minus infinity and plus infinity actually. Right? So, you cannot realize an infinite tap filter actually. How do you realize this? You truncate it. You assume after this 0 actually. This also 0. You put a window and within this value you take rest of outside this window everything is 0. You take it. That is one thing. That is finite impulse actually response. But make it causal. How do you make it causal actually? I want this is non-causal, right? How will you make it causal? You give a delay. If it is like this, I'm just giving an example. Finite tap. I have truncated, it is like this. I give a delay, then this is peak. This is causal, right?
Yes.
Is it causal? After 0, I have truncated. So
After zero.
it is causal and finite actually. I can realize this, right? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So a non-causal system
Truncated and shifted, sir.
shifted in time. See, this
Ah.
property you have to keep in mind actually.
Yeah.
Truncated and shifted. You give a delay. Shift right means delay. You are given a delay. So this is non-realizable. Even this is also non-realizable. Even though you truncate it, because this is non-causal, you cannot realize it. You cannot realize it. But you can realize it. By giving a delay, you make it causal actually. Right? So if you give a signal, output will be delayed by this actually. Output will not come immediately by this. So you have to account this delay actually. When the system, you have to account this delay actually. Right? Is it clear?
Yes.
No, something else.
Yes.
So a causal system, you made a non-causal system into a causal system by truncating and giving a delay actually. This is how you will implement a low-pass filter. But the frequency response will not be like this. It will not be 0 outside omega naught. It will be some value will be there actually. There will be some aliasing will be there. That's okay. As long as that aliasing is very low, it's okay. We can tolerate that actually. Okay? This is clear, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Stability we have seen, causality we have seen, correlation and convolution we have seen. The linear time invariant we have seen actually. So if it is time variant, we cannot commute. That is clear, right?
Yes.
So what is the topic we have left actually? We will cover in next class. So autocorrelation we have seen, convolution we have seen, impulse response we have seen, stability. So match and filter, pulse shaping, ISA equalization, AWGN filtering. So next classes we will be seeing this. Okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it
yeah. Yes.
next class is tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, tomorrow we can have, no problem. Yeah. 5:30 we'll have.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
But this thing, even though you have studied, I think you may not be knowing the impulse response should be n equal to -1, -2 and all. It should be not 0. Did you know that actually?
What's I mean,
No, I told you, no, impulse response, h of -1, h of -2 and all should be 0 actually.
Huh.
This concept, did you understand earlier? Did you know that?
So just the formula wise we know how to calculate, but this much practically we did not do.
This was not there.
Uh-huh. No, I proved, if h of minus 1 is non-zero, then it cannot become causal because
Cos.
y of 0 depends on x of 1, which is not possible actually.
Yes.
Okay, all other things we cover next class and another maximum 2 classes. Then we will go to project. Maximum 2 more class. That's all. Because I cannot even probability and all. We will try to take very little. What is continuous distribution? What is Gaussian? Something we should know actually. Otherwise, you cannot do the projects actually.
Okay.
But in detail, you have to study some books actually. Procris, Propolis, then Open Schaffer. Some 4-5 books you have to study actually. Slowly you study. Any doubt if you have, you can get back to me actually. It's clear, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Any doubt in this so far?
No, sir.
Clear.
Huh?
No,
No.
sir. Clear.
Yeah, something, I don't know, that whatever I wrote, in different order, I was confused actually. Yeah, so anyway, that's okay.
So it was clear.
Yeah, okay. So this will stop this class, okay?
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
So the one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
So you told about that audio recording. So will you explain it now or tomorrow's class?
Audio this thing, yeah? Oh, that, okay. That mini project, right? Mini project.
Yes.
you are talking.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I'll explain it. It's a mini project actually, but it will explain some concept. Actually, see, we will. I think that MATLAB, some 44 kilohertz. I don't know exactly. Just see what is the sampling frequency actually. I think 44 kilohertz. I think for audio, it is, or different frequency may be there. Audio sampling FS, but standard is I think 44. I think you can see that dot wave files. Okay, you can speak in a microphone, record in an audio file, dot wave file.
So, but in the MATLAB only there is one function called audio record. So
Yeah, audio record. You speak and
So that will automatically record for some 5 seconds and all. So with that,
record, I don't know. There is a function called audio read. If the file, if you have saved, whatever you speak, if you have saved, audio read, it will read the file actually. Okay. Or if there is a record also, you can take. That's okay. You can see whichever is convenient. Audio file, if you save, and you can read that audio using audio read. Okay, you can look into the MATLAB built-in functions. Okay. Once you read that, okay, it is a signal, baseband signal, right? This x of n. You mix it, this is up to 44, up to some 20 gigahertz or something, right? Baseband signal. You mix with some 10 megahertz, cos omega naught n, the digital domain actually. Okay, 10 megahertz. This is y of n. Right? You can, it is a one line, x of n into cos omega naught n. It is one line actually. Y of n you are getting. Right?
yes.
F naught is 10 megahertz. What is this called actually?
Mixer.
RF mixing, right? Modulation. Right? Y of n is got. Then y of n, 1 minute. So what is this actually? This is AM, right? Amplitude modulation actually.
Yes.
AMSC. Suppressed carrier. There is no carrier actually. Y of n will not have carrier actually. Okay. Then to do a down conversion actually. If you want, you can add noise. AWGN. Add noise. Do a down conversion. Same cos omega naught n will give. Okay. Then what is the temp? These cos omega naught and cos omega naught temp will cancel, and there will be 2 omega naught temp actually, right? So you give the low pass filter. Low pass filter, Shreya will be designing. So this is cutoff frequency, let us say 20 gigahertz. Okay. What will be the output actually? If you give to a DAC, this you put a file audio right, you will get the same music or whatever audio, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Because you removed all high frequency temp by putting a low pass filter actually. So original audio you will be getting, you should get actually, right? You can add noise and we see whether how the quality is. That we can do it if you want. Okay. Next, we will introduce a frequency offset. Instead of 10 megahertz, you put 10.001 megahertz. Okay? Right? There is a frequency offset. Why there is a frequency offset coming in the practical system?
Because that receiver and transmitter oscillators will.
They are independent actually. There will be some tolerance, right? All that components will have tolerance. See, even if you take 100 ohm resistor, there will be some 5% or 1% tolerance. It will not be 100 ohm exactly. Some will be 100 by plus or minus 5%. Within that, the values will be there actually. So the frequency also will not be same, and also with time that slowly that frequency also will change. So you can't get the same value. So there is a 1 kilohertz offset will be there. Suppose this signal is 20 kilohertz. So what will happen is because of originally it will be some signal like this minus 20 to plus 20. Then after modulation and LPF, we will get the same thing, assuming there is no distortion or something. But with the frequency offset, it will shift actually. This will shift slightly.
21.
Go to 21. And this, because cos omega, two impulses actually, right? Cos function, I didn't teach, but I'm just saying, two impulses.
Yes, sir.
This is DC. So because of this, you go this. Because of this, this will go left. So how it will be? 1 minute.
Minus.
1 minute. This goes slightly positive, this goes slightly negative. So there is a overlap and it will be like this, nice. But if it is no frequency offset, it will be like this, nice spectrum. But there is overlap, there is a distortion actually. Okay, audio there will be a distortion, you can see that. Okay, we will see the distortion actually. Then, suppose I tell you there is 1 kilowatt offset is there, how will you remove this offset actually? You put a this thing. So here you put it 21 kilohertz if there is a frequency offset higher. So again 1 kilohertz. So you give. To bring back, again put a filter. With 1 kilohertz you will remove, offset you will remove actually. Then it will be like this. Right? Not like this. It will become like this. So we are removing the frequency offset actually.
Yes.
Shall we experiment this actually? It will be fun,
Yes.
Right?
So, but
Yeah.
this thing I did not get here. You have explained this one X of n 20 kilohertz and no, audio recording file we are taking, sir.
Yeah. Approximately I wrote maybe 44 kilohertz means up to 21 or 22 it can go, but I wrote 20 kilohertz is the signal or whatever it allows. I don't know what is the filter itself. Okay, that is your audio frequency. So then you multiply by cos omega naught here and upconvert it. That is RF conversion by FN. Then you down convert it by again cos omega naught 10, put a low pass filter, remove RF, the baseband signal you are seeing actually.
So this up conversion and the down conversion should be same frequency. Or
Same frequency, yeah.
okay. Sir.
But in the second case, we assume that there is a crystal tolerance. So you add instead of 10 megahertz, you give 10.001. You don't give exactly. Because of the 1 kilohertz offset, there is a distortion. But suppose you know that it is 1 kilohertz, you can get back the original actually by again mixing with 1 kilohertz actually. You can bring back to original actually. Okay, but this is not possible in AM. Whereas in the digital domain, we will measure the frequency offset, we will compensate it actually. There are ways to measure the frequency offset, we will compensate it. But in standard AM, what do? They widen the filter actually. Instead of 20 kilohertz, they make it 21 kilohertz. So more noise will enter. To compensate that, they will pump more transmit power, which is a waste of power, right? Power cannot increase more. It's not efficient. That's why AM is not efficient actually. Whereas all digital modulations, they trade power and bandwidth efficiently at the cost of complexity actually. Is it clear?
Yes.
Can you do this actually?
Yes, sir, we'll try.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is not difficult actually.
Yes, sir, we will do this.
Yeah, it will give some. Even I have not done. I am just telling. Let us do it actually. It will give. It is not very difficult actually.
So, is there anything reference for this problem you explained, or is it just like
Just
generally you have got?
no reference. No, I want to tell you why the frequency offset is important actually. Digital
So,
domain.
because when we record the audio, means it will be in the time domain. So, do we need to calculate the what at frequency for this?
Record the time. It will be time domain. Yeah, frequency you can plot the FFT if you want. Take
So, like, that's what sir, means we have to take the FFT and first identify what is the frequency of that signal, and then we have to do all this. Correct.
No. I'm just. We don't identify actually. I am introducing a frequency offset and showing that it is distorted. And because I am doing simulation, 1 kilohertz offset is there, I compensate it. But actually, there is no way to do that, right? 1 kilohertz actually,
So,
right?
but so after this, we will be adding the noise to the signal also.
No. After the upconversion, first time, here you will add the noise. See here. After Y of n, you
Okay.
upconvert it, then it is transmitted through channel. That
Yes,
is, it is, yeah, I assume it is AWDM channel, not fading channel. So you add a noise. You can add a noise and the signal quality will differ, suffer actually. So it will be noisy actually. More noise you add, so receiver will be more noisy actually.
so that's what means this frequency we need to calculate it. So this audio signal, whatever we have
Uh,
to calculate the frequency of this audio signal.
yeah, that we don't have to worry because the sampling frequency, you can plot FFT and if you want, you can do it. Up to 20, 22 hours, it will allow. They may put a filter, I don't know, some 20 hours or something they may allow actually, probably.
Okay,
I
sir.
don't know for any cloud, I don't know exactly what is the frequency. You can see MATLAB actually.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
If you do this, it will give a fun. And the actual digital receiver, you will measure the frequency offset and will compensate it. So you will not give wider bandwidth. No extra power, noise will come, so you don't have to increase the transmit power actually. That is the saving, right? So you
Yeah.
get a more complexity at the cost of, you spend more complexity, so you save in transmit power actually. So I told you, if it is a big probe, you are sending Mars or Jupiter, you cannot take a big battery actually there. Everything should be solar powered and your every picowatt or microwatt it counts actually. So you have to use this bandwidth and power carefully actually. That is a luxury actually. Power is a luxury, right?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can try. Even I am excited to see this actually. I have not done so far.
Okay, sir. We will try.
It is very simple actually.
Hmm.
And she will be writing the FIR filter program. Shaya will be writing. Even
Yes, sir.
MATLAB built-in functions are there. Let us use her function instead of built-in FIR filter. We will use her function. I will design using MATLAB. Tools are there. We can design any filter. I will give her the coefficient. I will design the filter and give her the coefficient. And but if you want, I can teach that also how to design a filter. Are you interested?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Using MATLAB, I can design actually. You can specify and you can design a filter actually.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So this will conclude the class.
Okay, sir.
oh,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thanks.
Oh.